Hello everyone, today we will be looking at 50 questions from the Civil Service Handbook. Are you interested? This is one of the books you will be questioned from if you are preparing for any promotion exams, compro exams and recruitment exam for the Federal Civil Service. So this presentation is going to be interactive so that once you visualize this question, you can be able to easily pick a right answer during the exams. Before we start, I want to give a shout out to our new members in our member community, Hakeem Abu, Tabitha, and Mr. Awulu Ibrahim. We want to congratulate you for being part of our members, our membership platform or community. If you are watching this video now, you are just a step into our membership community where we share exclusive perks for success in your promotion, compro, and recruitment exams for almost free. Just hit the join button below to complete your registration process. For these three members, you will be getting this exclusive video presentation first before it will be served to other persons who we appreciate also join us in listening to our presentation. So without wasting much time, let's commence. We'll be looking at the first question, and the question is going to be all on Civil Service Handbook, Government Business, which is more of the chapter 1. Question number 1 says, according to the 99 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, what is the primary purpose of government? Is it A, to maximize wealth for a few citizens, B, to provide security and welfare to the people, C, to control international trade, and B, to build luxurious infrastructure only? Now, what do you think is the right option? According to the Constitution, the right option should be B, to provide security and welfare to the people. And that is exactly what is found in the 1999 Constitution. So the correct option is option B. Question number 2. How many arms of government are there in Nigeria according to the handbook? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4? Or is it 5? This is a bit dicey, but we know how many arms of government we have in Nigeria. The correct answer to this question is option B. The government is made up of three arms: the legislature, the executive, and the what? And the judiciary. These are the three arms of government the country operates. Question number 3. Which arm of government is responsible for lawmaking, representation, and oversight? Is it A, the judiciary, B, is it A, the executive, B, the judiciary, C, the legislature, or D, the civil service? Now, nobody should tell us the answer to this, that the correct answer is option C, the legislature. So the legislature is saddled with the responsibility of making laws, representations, and oversight. Question number 4. What is the primary responsibility of the executive arm of government? A. Adjudication of disputes. B. Lawmaking and confirmation of appointments. C. Day-by-day management of government including policy formulation and execution. D. Monitoring revenue accruals only. The right option is option C. The executive is responsible for the day-to-day management of government and conceive, formulate, execute, and monitor policies, programs, and projects. That is option C. Question number 4. Who heads the federal government in Nigerian presidential system? A. The Chief Justice of Nigeria. B. The President of the Senate. C. The President Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. C. The Speaker of the House of Representatives. The right option to this question is option C. Nigeria practices the presidential system of government under which the federal government is headed by the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. Option C. Question number 6. At the federal level, who heads the legislature? A. The Speaker of the House of Representatives. B. The Chief Justice of Nigeria. C. The President of the Senate. D. The Head of the Civil Service of the Federation. The answer to this question is option C. At the federal level, the President of the Senate heads the legislature, complemented by the Speaker who heads the heads of House of Representatives. Option C. Question 7. How many senators make up the Nigerian Senate? This is dicey because many of us don't know this. Is it 360? Is it 774? Is it 109? Or is it 36? Remember, Nigeria have 774 local governments. So how many senators do we get from each? The answer, the Senate consists of 3 senators from each state and 1 from the FCT. So we have 36 states plus the FCT, making a total of 109 senators. What is the role of the legislature regarding laws made by the government? A. It implements the laws. B. It makes the laws but does not implement them. C. It adjudicates on the laws. D. It only approves the budget. What is the role of the legislature regarding law made by the government? What is the right option? Option B. Though the legislature approves the project and makes the law, it does not implement such law. That duty belongs to the executive. So the legislature does not implement the laws. It is the executive that implements laws. Question number 9. Which of these is an exclusive responsibility of the federal government according to the handbook? A. Education. B. Health. C. Foreign affairs. D. Road. Now, remember we have the exclusive list and the concurrent. Now, which of these belongs to the exclusive responsibility of the federal government? Now, it should be foreign affairs because everything that has to do with foreign affairs rests on the shoulder of the federal government. So let's confirm. Question number 9, the correct option is C. The federal government has exclusive responsibility for specified matters such as foreign affairs. Question number 10. Matters on which both the federal and the state government share responsibility are listed in which part of the Constitution? A. The exclusive list. B. The residual powers. C. The concurrent list. D. The legislature list. The right option is option C. These areas which appear in the concurrent list in the Constitution includes health, education, road, etc. So they share the concurrent what? The concurrent list. That is option C. Now, question number 11. How many local governments are there in Nigeria? 36, 109, 774, and 360. The right option is option C. There exists in the country a third tier of government called the local government, of which there are 774 local governments in all across the country. Question number 12. Who is the topmost career civil servant in a local government setup? In a local government setup. In a local government setup. A. Chairman. B. Councillor. C. Secretary. And D. Mayor. The right option to this is C. The topmost civil servant in the setup is designated as the what? The secretary. In a local government setup, it is the what? The secretary that is the topmost career civil servants. Others are just political appointments, the chairman and the councillor. Now let's look at question number 13. What is the duty and responsibility of the Executive Council of the Federation? A. To elect local government chairmen. B. To determine government policies on various matters. C. To confirm appointment of ministers and ambassadors. And D. To manage the daily affairs of the judiciary. Now, the right option is option B. The Executive Council of the Federation has the duty and responsibility of determining government policies on various matters. Question number D, number 14. Who is the secretary to the Executive Council of the Federation? A. The head of the Civil Service of the Federation. B. The National Security Advisors. C. The secretary to the government of the Federation. D. The Minister of Finance. The secretary to the Executive Council of the Federation is C. The secretary to the council, that is the secretary to the government of the Federation, which we will have as today George Akume. Now let's look at question number 15. What is the designation of the chief executive of a ministry of cabinet rank? A. Chairman. B. Permanent Secretary. C. Minister. D. Director General. What is the designation of the Chief Executive of a Ministry of Cabinet rank? The correct option is option C. Each ministry is headed by a Minister of Cabinet rank who is the Chief Executive. Question number 16. Who is the chief advisor to the minister and also the ministry accounting officer? A. The Minister of State. B. The chairman of the extra ministerial department. C. The permanent secretary. And D. The head of the civil service of the federation. Now, as far as you see accounting officer here, the accounting officer, the ministry accounting officer is the permanent secretary. So the correct option is the permanent secretary. He is the chief advisor to the minister and he is the ministry accounting officer. Question number 17. Which of the following is explicitly mentioned as part of the public service apart from the civil service? A. Private companies. B. Non-governmental authority. C. Armed forces. D. Religious institution. The right option is option C. Apart from the civil service, the public service also encompasses the armed forces, the judiciary, the legislature, and the what? And the police. So the armed forces is explicitly mentioned as part of the public service apart from the civil service. Question number 18. What characteristic of good governance emphasizes fair legal framework that are enforced impartially? A. Participation. B. Transparency. C. Rule of law. And D. Accountability. Now, the right option is option C. Now, good governance comprises characteristics such as rule of law, which include fair legal framework that are enforced impartially, and this is found in the handbook. Question number 19. What does the transparency characteristic of good governance imply regarding information? A. Information is strictly controlled and limited. B. Information is freely available and accessible to those who will be affected by decisions. C. Information is only shared with government officials. D. Decisions are taken without explaining the reason. And the right option is option B. Under transparency, information is freely available and accessible to those who will be affected by such decision and their enforcement. Correct option, option B. Question number 20. What characteristic of good governance requires governmental institutions, the private sectors, and the civil society organizations to be accountable to the public? A. Effectiveness and efficiency. B. Equality and inclusiveness. C. Accountability. And D. Consensus orientation. The right option is option C. Under accountability, governmental institutions as well as the private sector and civil society organizations must be accountable to the public and to their institutional stakeholder. Option C. Now, question number 21 is taken from the government revenues and expenditure. The first question is, what is another term for public finance as defined in the Civil Service Handbook? A. Corporate finance. B. Government finance. C. Personal finance. D. International finance. Another name for public finance is B. Public finance is also referred to as government finance or public what? Public money. So you can hear government agents saying government finance, public money. All these are what? Another term for public finance. Option B. Question number 22. According to Section 2 of the Finance, Control and Management Act of 1956-58, what does public finance include? A. Only the public revenue of the Federation. B. Any money held by a private citizen. C. The public revenue of the Federation and any money held in an official capacity by the public service officer or government agent. And D. Only funds from the international loans. The right option to this question is option C. The public finance includes the public revenue of the Federation and any money held in his official capacity by any officer in the public service of the Federation or by any agent of the government. Option C. Question number 23. Modern day government intervenes in the economy primarily through what types of policies? A. Social and cultural policies. B. Fiscal and monetary policies. C. Environmental and trade policies. D. Educational and healthcare policies. The right option is option B. The interest of the modern day government in the economy is manifested via intervention through fiscal and monetary policies. Question number 24. Government revenue can be boldly classified into which two sections? Take notes. This is very important. A. Direct and indirect revenue. B. Oil and gas revenue. C. Oil and non-oil revenue. And D. Tax and non-tax revenues. The right option is option C. Government revenue can boldly or broadly be classified into two sections, the oil revenue and the non-oil revenue. Question number 25. Which of the following is an example of oil revenue? A. Company tax. B. Personal income tax. C. Petroleum profit tax. And D. Import duties. Now, without you checking the option, you should know that the right answer to this question is option C. The petroleum profit tax. And that is part of the oil revenue because these include petroleum profit tax, the oil revenue include petroleum profit tax, rent royalties, and government crude oil sales and proceeds from domestic consumption, taxes from domestic consumption. So the right option is option C. Question number 26. Which of these is explicitly mentioned as a component of non-oil revenue? A. Government crude oil sales. B. Rent royalties. C. Company tax. D. Proceeds from domestic consumption of oil. Non-oil revenue. The correct option is option C. Non-oil revenue refer to indirect and direct taxes, company tax, income tax, and personal income tax, which includes your pay as you earn tax, etc. So the correct option is option C. Question number 27. Non-tax revenue refers to income accruable to the government outside of its taxes, such as excess duties, import duties, operating surplus from its parastatals, and purchase tax. Non-oil revenue refers to income accruable to the government outside of its taxes, such as C. Non-tax revenue refer to income accruing to the government outside its taxes, such as operating surpluses from its parastatals. So the right option is option C, operating surpluses from its parastatal. These are non-tax revenues that are referred to income accruable to the government outside a tax net. Question number 28. Which body is responsible for monitoring the accruals to and disbursement of revenue from the Federation account? A. The Central Bank of Nigeria. B. The Ministry of Finance. C. The Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission. And D. The National Assembly. The right option is option C. The Revenue and Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Revenue. They are one of the federal executive bodies. Among other functions, the Commission has the power to monitor the accruals to and disbursement of revenue from the Federation account. Option C. Question 29. What percentage of the revenue allocation formula currently in operation goes to the federal government? Is it A 20.6%, B 26.72%, C 52.68%, and D 100%? The bit adjustments in this revenue allocation currently, which you have to make research on, but from the handbook, the correct option is option B, which is 52.68%. So the revenue allocation formula in operation among the three tiers of government, the federal government gets a share of 52.68%, which is a B. Question number 30. What percentage of the federal government share of derivation goes to ecology? A 48.50%, B 1%, C 0.50%, D 1.68%. The correct option is option B. FG share of derivation ecology is 1% of the federal government share. Question number 31. Which account is a distributive pooling account where all revenue collected by the federal government are paid with certain exception? A. Consolidated Revenue Fund. B. Development Fund. C. Contingency Fund. D. Federation account. The right option is option D. The Federation account is a distributable special pooling account in which all revenue collected by the federal government are paid except for certain specified proceeds. The Federation account is a distributive special pooling account. So the right option is option D. Question number 32. The Consolidated Revenue Fund is solely for which level of government? A. Local government. B. State government. C. Federal government. And D. All tiers of government. The right option to this question is C. The Consolidated Revenue Fund is not distributable but solely for the federal government. Question number 33. Which of these is a source of revenue for the Consolidated Revenue Fund? A. Proceeds of tax under the pay as you earn system from police personnel. B. Share from the Federation account. C. Proceeds from domestic consumption of crude oil. D. External grants. Which of these is a source of revenue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund? The correct option is option B. Sources of revenue for the CRF account include shares from the Federation account. Option B. Question number 34. What type of expenditures are charged to the Consolidated Revenue Fund? Is it A. Capital project, B. All recurrent expenditures, C. Unforeseen circumstances, or D. External grants? The right option is option B. All recurrent expenditure, including the salaries of the Auditor General, Chief Justice, President, etc., the are charged to the Consolidated Revenue Fund. So all recurrent expenditures. Question number 35. The development fund is primarily meant for what type of project? Primarily meant for one type of project: A. Recurrent expenditure, B. Emergency response, C. Capital project, and D. Operational expenses. The development fund is primarily meant for what type of project? C. The fund is meant for capital projects. It is established by the 99 Constitution. Question number 36. What is the purpose of the contingency fund? All these are the funds that are found in the handbook. A. To fund all government projects. B. To take care of unforeseen circumstances such as national disasters. C. To pay recurrent expenditures. And D. To distribute revenue among the tiers of government. The contingencies fund. The correct option is B. The contingency fund was established to take care of unforeseen circumstances such as national disaster, fire outbreak, serious flooding, etc. Now, question on number 37. The responsibility for the federal budget is shared between which two arms of the federal government? The federal budget: A. The judiciary and the legislature, B. The executive and the judiciary, C. The executive and the legislature, and D. The president and the chief justice. The right option is option C. The responsibility for the federal budget, the formulation, and everything is shared between the executive and the legislature, which are the two of the three arms of our government. Question number 38. Who is responsible for preparing the federal budget? Is it A. The legislature, B. The executive, C. The judiciary, or D. The auditor general? The right option is option B. Therefore, the executive is responsible for preparing the budget while the legislature approves it. Question number 39. What do the President's directive to the Minister of Finance and the Budget Office of the Federation aim to achieve through the budget? To increase government debt, to reduce poverty, generate wealth, and create jobs. C. To decrease social welfare program. D. To centralize all economic activity. The right option is option B. The plan indicates what the government intends to do to reduce poverty, generate wealth, and create jobs. To reduce poverty, generate wealth, and create jobs. Question number 40. What serves as a policy tool for attaining the immediate, medium, and long-term development goal of the government? A. The Constitution, B. The budget, C. The annual report, and D. The monetary policy. What serve as a policy tool for attaining the immediate, medium, and long-term development goal of the government? The right option is option B. As the preparation of a federal government is done against the background of this development plan, the budget serves as a policy tool for attaining the immediate, medium, and long-term development goal of the government. So, the budget. Question number 41. Who projects estimates of oil and non-oil revenues in consultation with revenue generating agencies? A. The Minister of Finance, B. The President, C. The Budget Office of the Federation, and D. The Central Bank. The right option is option C. The Budget Office of the Federation, in consultation with the Revenue Generating Agency of the federal government, projects estimates of oil and non-oil revenue. So the right option is option C. How many years are the revenues estimate for and documented in the medium-term revenue framework? A, is it 1 year, 2 years, B, C, 3 years, or D, 5 years? The correct option is option C. These revenues are estimated for the next 3 years and are documented in the medium-term revenue framework. For 3, what is the aim when determining the estimate for the medium-term expenditure framework? A, to maximize government spending regardless of revenue. B, to prioritize short-term gains over long-term goals. C, to balance the need to spend money for developmental goals and the need to live within our means. And D, to only spend money from external grants. The correct option is option C. In determining this estimate, the aim is to balance the need to spend money to attain the nation's developmental goals and the need to live within our means. Correct option is option C. 44. What physical rule is observed under the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2007? A, total revenue must always exceed total expenditure. B, total expenditure must not exceed total revenue. C, total expenditure can exceed total revenue if there are external grants. D, total revenue is not a factor in determining total expenditure. So the physical rule being observed under the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2007 is that total expenditure must not exceed total revenue. The correct option is option B. Question 45. Which of the following is not an arm of government as mentioned in chapter 1 of the Civil Service Handbook? A, the legislature, B, the executive, C, the civil service, and D, the judiciary. The right option is option C. So the civil service is part of the public service which encompasses the three arms of the government. So government is made up of three arms: the legislature, the executive, and the what? And the judiciary. The correct option C. Who heads the judiciary at the federal level? A, the President of the Senate. B, the Speaker of the House of Representatives. C, the Chief Justice of Nigeria. And D, the President, Commander-in-Chief. The right option is option C. The judiciary is headed by the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Question number 47. What is the primary duty of the executive arm of government regarding policies and program? A, adjudication. B, lawmaking. C, conceives, formulate, execute, and monitor. D, represent. What is the primary duty of the executive arm of government regarding policies and program? Remember, the executive, they do what? They conceive. C, the executive is responsible for the day-by-day management of the government. They conceive, project, formulate, execute, and monitor policies, program, and projects of the government. Question 48. Which list in the Constitution contain matters where both the federal and the state government shares responsibility? A, exclusive list. B, residual power. C, concurrent list. And D, shared list. The right option is option C. Those areas which appear in the concurrent list in the Constitution are health, education, and road. Question number 49. How many members are in the House of Representatives? A, 109. B, 36. C, 774. D, 360. The right option is option D. The House of Representatives consists of 360 members. Question number 50. What is the lowest tier of government mentioned in the handbook? A. State government, B. Federal government, C. Local government, and D. Ministry. Option C. There exists in the country a third tier of government called the local government, of which there are 774 local governments in all across the nation. So these are the 50 questions. The first 50 questions from the Civil Service Handbook will be discussing. In the next video, we're going to look at another 50 questions from the Civil Service Handbook. Don't miss that presentation. Be sure to join our membership platform, subscribe to this channel so that you can get updated when such exclusive presentations comes your way. Thanks so much for watching, and bye bye for now.